Hi YouTube. Been debating what to do on both sides of this bridge here for a little while, and finally decided that I was just gonna use some drywall mud and make it look like a concrete bridge. I don't know, seems like the easiest method and cheapest and least hassle. It doesn't have to be perfect because a little bit of sanding and I can fix it right up. And we're just gonna lay on a decent amount. Scrape off whatever I don't need. It'll probably take me a couple of coats to get it right. For now, I think this is going to be good. Work's progressing along there. I've been working on the concrete work, or what's going to be concrete, for my bridge here. I've pulled out the center support that I had underneath, and once I get all the detailing underneath and both sides here done, I'm going to make another support to go in there. Probably use some dowels, wood, and just spray paint it the same color. I've also been working on this area over here. I've been carving it down and figuring out my plan for where all my stone pieces are going to be going. Just have to glue some foam down to get this a little farther along. This guy here is going to go like this. So, another one in here. Actually, let me switch it for this guy. Go this way instead. I kind of like that. I'll have to build it up a little bit to make it work. Flatten out the piece a bit too, just to get it to sit a little closer to the flush. Made a few different castings just so I can play around with them and get something together that looks fairly decent. And combination, I'm going to use drywall compound again and cover over all these areas, and then once I get it to the basic shape I want and built up in the areas I need it to be built up in, and then I'm going to come back and use some hydrocal and stick everything on. Hopefully it'll work out looking good, and any of the gaps and stuff will probably, you know, have dirt and grass and some vines and shrubs and stuff there. So that's the plan anyways. We'll see how it turns out. I've been using a combination of tools, little Sureform tool, a bigger Sureform tool as well to shape some of the stuff, and the trusty drywall knife or saw. Get the basic shapes and what I want, and from there generally I've just been building it up with mud, drywall compound, and like I said, then going over it with hydrocal on the last coat just so I'm not using up a bunch of hydrocal. Any of the areas where I've used fairly large blocks of foam, I've used just LePage's, or I think it's LePage's I'm using there. Yeah, LePage's white glue or Elmer's glue. It doesn't really make a difference. It seems they both seem to work just as good. And anywhere I've used small pieces, I've been tending to use the hot glue because I can get the piece in and then shape it a bit more really quickly rather than having to wait for the Elmer's glue to dry and harden up. I can just hang on to it for a few seconds and it's in position and done, and I can move on to the next. So actually I'm going to just do that to these two little pieces of foam here just to help prop up these guys. And like I said, I'll be filling it in with drywall compound so it will look better than just the way it does now. If you're wondering, this is a 2-temp hot glue gun. Although I must admit that I haven't really been using it on the low foam temperature. I've been using it on the higher temperature and it seems to be doing okay. It hasn't melted the foam or anything. The hot glue sticks I'm using, they're dual temperature as well, so it's don't have to buy 2 different sets of sticks for it, which is kind of handy. Like I said, see, it's already in there nice and firm, which is good. And the other good thing about it is you can unplug it. It's an AdTech. Not sure if it's available in the States as well. Probably is. I'm sure it's made in China. Oh, Taiwan. What do you know? Now they've got that done, I'm going to start laying the drywall compound on here. Get that happening. Before I start actually drywalling or using the drywall compound, I just drew a little map of the area here and labeled the different rock shapes as to where they actually go, and I'll just put the corresponding number on the back of them as well, just to make it easier to figure out what I'm doing there. Nothing worse than getting the hydrocal all set up and painted on, and then put the rock pieces in the wrong position, and then you got a problem. Okay, so we're ready to apply the drywall compound to the blue foam and get this rolling. Like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be a great job, just plaster it on, fill out any of the low spots and give it a bit of texture wherever I want or feel it should be. And not do it, I want to keep this area in here compound free because this is going to be a small parking area, and there's going to be a brewery in here. I still have to put the siding in and install the turnout. I didn't originally plan for it, but the brewery was supposed to go over in one of the yards over on the other side of the layout, but I just don't like how it looks over there and decided this would be a fine place to put it, so plans change. Plan's just a rough guide. Let's just see how it looks and get the track and the landscape basics of the landscape, and that gives you a bit better idea of what will work and what won't work. So as I said, plan had to change, not a big deal. Probably shouldn't have done this area close to me first. I should have been doing it over here. My handy scraper tool, 7-in-1 scraper tool. One of my favorite tools. Find that anywhere where I use the Sureform tool to shape the foam, the extruded foam, it tends to do a better job. I do a circular pattern there to get it embedded into all the little nooks and crannies. And that's where the hot glue gun comes in handy, because I only glued this down 5 minutes ago, and here I am already laying the drywall compound in there. So it's really good for, you know, things that you just, smaller pieces especially, it's really good for. Keeping this area nice and smooth, because this is where one of the larger pieces is going. Actually, there'll be 2 pieces in here. They'll need to have a nice flat surface to mount them to.